and welcome to All About Sport live on your local TV station, CavanTV.com. Each week we will include a wide variety of sport from all around County Cavan, and if you'd like your sport featured on the show, simply contact drumlinmedia@gmail.com. That's drumlinmedia@gmail.com. Well, first up, last week 25 years of GAA Memories celebrations in the Meadow View Inn in Cavan Town. Cavan TV caught up with RT commentator Marty Morrissey and Martin McHugh, former Donegal All-Ireland winner and former Cavan manager. Good evening and welcome to All About Sport. I am reporting from the Meadow View Inn in Cavan Town. I'm Louise O'Reilly and I am joined by the MC for the night, RT presenter and commentator Marty Morrissey. Thank you very much, Marty, for speaking to us.
Not at all, my pleasure.
You've a big evening ahead. How are you feeling about
I'm really looking forward to tonight, Louise, because when I do a match in Breffni Park, I always stop in the Meadow View Inn. They have the best steaks in Ulster and indeed in Ireland.
Oh, absolutely.
And I always get a warm welcome, so it was lovely to be here tonight. Loads of big names, not just coming from Cavan, but indeed from Donegal, Monaghan, from Leitrim, from Meath. So it's a big, big night. They were expecting about 600 people here later on, including Martin McHugh, for instance, and Barney Breen is the Leitrim manager, Anthony Ford, Stephen King, captain of the Ulster team, that Cavan team.
Lots of big names here
Loads
tonight.
of big names, Louise.
So we'll have a busy night ahead. You know, we're celebrating 25 years of GAA Memories. You've worked with the GAA for a very long time. What is one of your favourite GAA memories?
Oh, now that's a tough question, Louise. Well, I have so many. I suppose if I was slightly biased, when I started off many years ago, my first live match involved Antrim hurling, and they shocked awfully in the All-Ireland semi-final. Okay. And I was kind of doing the curtain raiser, and this was not supposed to happen. So I have fond memories of Antrim hurling. I suppose when I thought the Cavan team of '97 was a really good football team. I enjoyed their football and I quite liked Donegal last Sunday. I thought Donegal were magnificent. I think Donegal's game last Sunday is top of the pile because I think it reinvigorated Ulster football and Ireland football across the nation.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about that game last Sunday. Did you enjoy the game?
I did. I enjoyed it immensely. Brought an awful lot to the table. I didn't think Donegal were as good as that. But I think they've changed the face of football. So from that point of view, I suppose you'd have to put Donegal as now a top memory. And obviously biased. You're from Cavan, I'm from Clare. Like Clare hurlers winning the All-Ireland '95 is still a great memory. So I suppose it depends on where you're from. But right now, if you ask me what is this top memory, I'd say Donegal last Sunday. Because they brought so much to the table that I think they're going to change football.
Absolutely think they'll change the face of football. So we have the semi-final on Sunday, Mayo versus Dublin. Who do you think will top that game?
Well, logic would say Dublin. I think Mayo may have played their game against Down, to be honest with you. Andy Moran is a huge loss. I think Conor Mortimer probably should have stayed prior to the panel because he might have played a role next Sunday. They have a good squad of players. They're kind of coming in under the radar. They've always done well against Dublin. I think Dublin will have to step up their performance. I think they've been poor so far. That having been said, if the two programs play well, it changes their whole tone. So I think Dublin will win.
Yeah. So your pick, would you like Dublin to win? Would they be the team you'd be hoping for?
If I was to be honest now, Louise, I'd love Mayo to win.
Yeah.
I'm a culture. Although I work in Dublin, I'm great friends in Dublin. But Dublin won the All-Ireland last year. And if they go on to win the All-Ireland this year, brilliant. But I think it'd be great to have a Mayo-Donegal All-Ireland final. Instead of having Kerry versus Dublin or Cork versus Dublin, I think Mayo-Donegal would capture the imagination of everybody.
Really, yeah.
So
and
hopefully.
It might, maybe you could say some prayers, you know, Cavan haven't been in All-Ireland in 60 years.
Is it really 60 years?
Yes, 1952. So I suppose just like, Donegal, who were asleep for the past 20 years, hopefully Cavan. Do you think Cavan might come back stronger?
Well, I thought Louise, after they won the Ulster Under-21 Championship, here was a group of players that would move on. I think they may get there, but I think it's going to take a lot of hard work. And I don't know how things progress this year in terms of have they progressed. I'm not too sure. But if they want to get up there, Cavan always had football. Always had football. I mean, I don't remember the great Cavan teams. I wasn't around. But I was brought up hearing about Cavan.
Yeah.
Cavan was the benchmark, as much as Kerry is now. So it would be good. And Cavan play a beautiful brand of football, always have. Their forwards are slick, and the O'Reillys, I have to say, I've always
Well, I'm an O'Reilly myself,
there you go.
And there's, football in the genes.
Yeah, so I love Cavan football, and that's genuine. They play that attacking brand. So I would love to see Cavan come along. But whether or not they have either the commitment or the wherewithal, I'm not too sure. I wouldn't know enough, to be honest.
I suppose it's starting at the underage level. They're building it up. So hopefully in the next 20, 30 years we'll reach an All-Ireland.
Well, sooner than that, I hope.
Hopefully.
I'd like to be around.
Me too.
Yeah.
So if you had to pick for the All-Ireland, who do you think can you see winning the All-Ireland?
Right now, I can't see anybody beating Donegal. I think they're a pretty good outfit. I think Jimmy McGuinness has done an outstanding job. And consider where they were 12 months ago and where they are now, they're like two different teams. And for that alone, it's like Galway hurlers beating Kilkenny if they could, having beaten them once. I'd love to see Galway win the All-Ireland. That's nothing against Kilkenny. And likewise, I think Donegal have beaten Cavan, Derry, Down, Tyrone, Kerry, Cork. What a way to win an All-Ireland. So
absolutely. So hopefully they'll go out on top, and hopefully Martin McHugh's son Mark is playing, so hopefully he can follow in his dad's footsteps.
What a historic moment.
And win an All-Ireland. But Marty, you have a big night ahead. Thank you so much for taking time to talk to us on All About Sport.
Lovely meeting you.
It's been a pleasure.
Do I get a kiss now?
Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
That's all. Thank you, Louise.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
I'm joined by Martin McHugh, former Cavan manager. Martin, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me. So we're celebrating 25 years of GAA Memories. What's your favourite memory from the 1997 Ulster victory?
I suppose my big memory of that there would have been coming back to Cavan afterwards. I remember going back to Donegal in 1992 with the Samaware, and the crowds that were in Donegal were great at it, but the crowds that was here in Cavan, and I just realised, I knew anyway when the first day came down what kind of county it was for GAA, and when we landed back in the town, I remember Mark, my young lad that's praying now for Donegal, was running up alongside the bus, and it was actually dangerous for him. We had Joe O'Connor was there, and he lifted him and Ryan onto the bus to get them on, because actually I never seen crowds like it. There must have been 25, 30,000 people in Cavan that night, but it meant to Cavan. I mean, Cavan's a really big football county. I think probably the best in Ireland as far as support's concerned, and I'd love to see Cavan doing well. If Donegal's not going well, the one county I'd love to see going well is Cavan.
Oh, that's good to hear. You're a former All-Ireland winner, and you must be very proud of your son Mark. As you said, he was probably only a youngster when you were managing Cavan, but you've watched his journey and playing with Donegal. What did you think of the game last weekend?
I enjoyed it. I'd say it's probably the best performance ever from a Donegal team I've ever seen in my time involved. I mean, we dream about football in Donegal. It's a tough county because a lot of soccer in Donegal as well, and even a bit of rugby creeping on. So Gaelic football wouldn't be big in Donegal. Played in pockets of Donegal. So I think from that point of view it's great. But if somebody told me a way back, that Donegal would beat Cork and Kerry the one year and still not won the All Ireland, but beat Cork and Kerry, I mean that's great for the county. There's great buzz in the county at the minute.
It's given a great lift.
Yeah, it's given the whole county a great lift.
We've had Cavan really back in Donegal over the.
Yeah, it's great. Well, Cavan and Donegal, there's something very common between Cavan and Donegal, and that's why I enjoyed the time when I took over Cavan. We have a lot in common. I mean, most Donegal people travelling to Dublin travel to Cavan and everything else. So listen, it's great for Ulster football, but from our own point of view in Donegal, it's great times for Donegal at the minute. They're a great bunch of players. They're level-headed and they're very committed.
As a manager, what do you think of Jim McGuinness?
Oh, well, he's an exception, I mean, his record speaks for himself. Since he got over Donegal, I mean, he got promotion from Division 2 to Division 1. He got the team the year before that to the All-Ireland under 21 final, won in Ulster. And I mean, he's achieved by staying in Donegal now, he's achieved that. By staying in Division 1, he achieved it. And I mean, his record of 1-2 Ulster titles from the preliminary round, which has never been done before back-to-back. I mean, he's put us up there with the big counties in Ireland. And I mean, what can I say about him? It's great. I'm lucky that, and Mark's lucky to have the likes of him managing him. And, it's great times for him, and hopefully he stays a long time. I know other people will be wanting him and everything else, but hopefully he stays. I hope he stays a long time with Donegal.
There's been a lot of talk about, Donegal's tactics and their style of play. What do you think of what Jim McGuinness has been doing with the team?
Well, I think in the past we were known to be a nice team who played nice football and got beat by a couple of points, scoring maybe 2-18 to 2-20. He's changed the thing around. First year he you to get the defence right, which he did the first year, and this year he's moved it on. And I mean, what they're having now, and I know you can hear everybody talking about the Donegal style of football now. It's an attractive style of football to watch. It's different. You need a level of fitness, which is the modern day football and everything else. And I mean, to say that our teams in the past wouldn't have beat Cork and Kerry in the same year, so from that point of view it's right, and it will move on, and I see next year it'll move on again. But I think a style of football, it's interesting to watch. It was exciting to be a Donegal person last weekend to see that, and as I said, he's put pride back in Donegal, and the players have put pride back in Donegal, and listen, we're all proud of them. And Donegal were known to be a party country way back in the past. I'll tell you, we're not anymore.
What about you're an All-Ireland winner 1992, Donegal versus Dublin. What's your greatest memory of that year?
I just think it's interesting to go. So I always knew we were going to win it, because at the end of the match, all I wanted to do was get the ball at the referee. So I felt going to the match we were always going to win it. So I remember saying close to the referee, Tommy Surgo, and saying, "Just will you blow it up, Tommy? Just blow it up." And I grabbed the ball at the end of the match and I pulled it off. And then the next person out to me was my wife Patrice, and just great memories, because I lost my dad this year, and my mum was Alzheimer's. So the great thing was taking that cup back to them, and it's just hate for they're not about, not about to see Mark now. But I mean, you can't have it everywhere. But it was great to have myself and James playing the team for my mum and dad, and it was great that we did, achieve that. And going back to my hometown in Kilcar is the biggest memory I'll have. I'll never forget it. And I was even saying the last day, we call it going down the Trough into Kilcar. I'd love if we could take this Sam down the Trough again in Kilcar,
Oh, absolutely. So, Mark has got the All-Ireland coming up. Who would you like Donegal to meet in the All-Ireland?
I don't think it matters. I know I'm not saying it. Most people say Donegal and Dublin would be great 20 years on, but me, I'd love to see Mayo, because I really like Mayo as well. So listen, it doesn't really matter at this stage who they meet, who Donegal meet. I mean, the great thing is that Donegal's in the final. They can enjoy watching our semi-final. It's going to be interesting. It doesn't matter who it is. Mayo's going to be really, really hungry for it. Yes. Dublin want to do back-to-back. So listen, it's going to be very tough. I mean, if somebody told me in the past that you beat Tyrone, Kerry and Cork, and you still wouldn't have won the All-Ireland. So if Donegal won this All-Ireland, they definitely won 2 All-Irelands that won you.
And on a final note, Martin, can you ever see yourself coming back as Cavan manager?
Absolutely. I would love to have managed Donegal. I mean, I went for the Donegal job that year, and the Cavan were good enough to give me the chance. And I can never, I'll never forget Cavan. Even this year, my family couldn't believe the amount of Cavan people came down to my dad's wake and funeral, and I mean, I just, I'll never forget Cavan. And, the press and county board were all down, the county board at the time was here, were all down there, and I have great graft with Cavan, I have great friends in Cavan, and I just, Donald Joe was a very good friend of mine. He was a big help to me that time when I was here. So I just think that, I would love to, if I don't manage Donegal, I would love to manage Cavan. I love Cavan, but I can't see myself really at this stage come back into management anywhere, especially when I have a son playing for Donegal. I'd never want to come up manage a team against him or that there. So while he's there, I'll probably not manage anybody.
Martin McHugh, thank you very much. It's a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and thank you very much for speaking to us.
That was an absolutely fantastic evening in the Meadow View in Cavan Town. And thanks again to Marty Morrissey and Martin McHugh for taking the time to talk to you all about sport. So now I am joined in the studio by a very excited bunch of girls who have just clinched the championship title, and not only that, the league title. Lara Camogie Junior Team, you're very welcome to Cavan TV. Thank you very much for coming in and speaking with us. So Nicola, we'll come to you first. You have been in with us before. You play county Camogie, and you've been highly involved with the county team all summer. But tell us, how did it feel to finally clinch that title this summer, the championship, junior championship winners, just last night?
It was just unbelievable. It just is a long time coming. We've played Jungoon 4 times in the last month, and it was a replay. And the first final, we weren't in form at all. But last night, thankfully, we just got on form and we took the cup home.
So luckily enough, he's just clinched out. So you played. Who was your opposition last night?
It was Jungoon, and they were very tough. In fairness, there's a very good team out there.
So it was on your replay match as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it made it even tougher, and we just wanted it so much more. We really did, And I think as a group, we get on so well, and it helps on the pitch, playing together.
How did your team gel together? How did they play last night?
Yeah, we played really well. We did, the passes off each other, running off each other, we really did play well. And in fairness, I played with these girls since under 8s,
so you know each other very well. Yeah. So you can nearly read each other's minds, Yeah.
like we've grown up together.
Did you change tactics or styles from the last game against Drumgoon?
Yeah, a little bit. People were changed in different places, and yeah, it was a big difference for me. I was in full forward, and I haven't played there since I'd say years, but it was different, but thankfully,
stepped up to the plate.
So,
yeah,
and
that's great to hear. And we'll come to Emma. I know you're. Is it true that is your dad the trainer?
No, it's Ronnie's
It's
dad.
Ronnie. We'll come to you next.
Yeah.
But Emma, you're going to tell us a little bit about the training involved. Now, obviously, to win a junior championship and a league championship, there's a certain standard of training involved.
Yeah.
So tell us.
Well,
about
like we do the same kind of training as any other camogie team. Like you're working on your fitness and a lot of ball work, but having Shay training us, he's from Tipperary, so he know a fair bit about the game. Like, yeah. So it's just great to have his knowledge to bring to the training pitch, and he really kind of works on our positives. Like, he knows that we're a small enough side, so so our speed and our fitness are really our strong points. So he knows how to bring out the best in us.
And then, individually, would you kind of all have extra commitment to kind of fitness? What type of
well, whoever's in college, a lot of us would play camogie in college, and we all do our own little bit of fitness at home during the year, like just to up the standard, like.
Okay, fantastic. So you're a fit bunch of girls. I would like to be chasing you down the road. Grania, I'm right. Grania, your dad is the trainer, Shay Power, and you have to give Shay a wave there, girls. Give a big wave into the camera. But I suppose, tell us a little about the league. You've won the league this year as well, so not like a double whammy. You've won the league. Who's your toughest competition?
Well, in the league there was more teams and more clubs than in the championship. We played Lacken, and we played Castletower, and we played Bailborough and Drumgoon, and that was good though. Getting to play different clubs, and it was different because usually in the championship we were playing Bailborough and Drumgoon, so it was different. And but thank God we started training really, really early. For that, so we had like good skill, good fitness and everything, so we were really successful in the league, and then we just really wanted to win the championship, and thank God we got the Dublin there.
Thank God you did.
Yeah.
And Katie, tell us about the championship. There's 3 teams involved in the championship. So tell us a bit about the teams, and I suppose who was your kind of rivals or.
Well, the championship is like a knockout basis. It's not a knockout basis, so it's like a game of round robin. So we all play each other, and whoever comes out on top goes ahead. So we played Drumgoon, who's in the final last night, our first time in the first round.
Okay.
And unfortunately they bet us, well, not even. So we then went on to play playoffs, and we bet them again. So we then came to our final, which was last Sunday. And as Nicola said, we weren't on top form at all. So that ended in a draw, so we had last night.
So I suppose you were probably very thankful that you had a second chance. Because like any team, you can go out there and just not perform on the day, but it's no reflection on the amount of commitment and dedication and I suppose the style. So Arlene, tell us about the track record of your club. So, Lara Camogie Club, would you say you're underdogs when it comes to the league or the championship, or are you the team to beat?
To be honest, I think we are the team to beat. Like, we are
now. The team to beat. You're here on Cavan TV, all about sport. Lara are the team to beat. So your biggest rivals. I hope they're watching this now, and they'll be all now out training straight after the show.
But the last 2 years now, we've been in the final the last 3 years, the junior final. But the last 2 years, Ballinya beat us. It was a very close game as the both of them. I think they only came out on top by a couple of points both times.
Ballinya, very strong team.
Strong team, But they've moved up to senior now, and I think they've kind of amalgamated a bit with Crishaw, a couple of the players and that. So it kind of gave us an opportunity to really win it out this year. And if it hadn't been this year, would have been pretty devastating not to win it out.
You were saying that last year you won the minors.
We did, we won the minors, and all through maybe since primary school, we've all kind of been together. We've won maybe under 14, under 16 and minors, so we have been kind of progressing up and doing well. So we were kind of confident that we're going to have a good team this time around. So
brilliant. And you've in camogie it doesn't go to intermediate. There's no intermediate. It goes straight. So next year you're going to be moving up to senior level. Who's the biggest kind of rivals next year?
This year I think Crishelaw won the senior championship, so they'll be the biggest rivals next year, but Lacken and Castletown are equally strong as well, so we'll have a tough year next year. But
yeah, do you think that you'll be strong enough to in the mix? So you think you're confident enough to kind of beat some of these teams and come out on top next year?
Well, we're a young side and we're fit and we're fast and hopefully we're skillful as well, so hopefully
a lot of work to be done.
Yeah.
But maybe not next year, but in a couple of years we'll be building ourselves a couple of years time.
So what do you think the other teams have that you don't have? What have they got? The likes of Crishelaw and these other sides, what are they?
Well, they've had more older experienced players, like we'd be quite a young team, so
yeah, there's a lot of it older, so hopefully maybe in a few years your time will come at senior level. So Aoife, these are very organised bunch of girls here. Ulster game is next, so now that you've won the junior championship, on to play the Ulster game next. So when is that taking place?
Well, it's at the end of the month. We're playing Castleblaney, and I suppose it's something new, something exciting to look forward to.
Another maybe chance of another cup.
Exactly, another night out. But no, it's something to look forward to, and I know, like as Arlene said, we are a really young team, so even if we don't get very far, like even to build up our skill and learn from these Ulster teams, like how they do it, and if we can bring some of that home and use that, play it with our advantage or whatever, it'd be really good to do that, and we should.
So how many teams now you're playing Castleblaney? Is that straight into, do you say a semi-final?
Yeah.
Straight into a semi-final. Okay,
yeah,
great. So if you beat Castleblaney, straight to the final. And do you know yet who you will be meeting in the final?
No, not yet.
So that's unknown. And what other it's Ulster, so what other clubs do you know are involved, or anyone do you know that's left in it?
I honestly
You're not
don't
sure
know,
yet.
no.
It's all to be revealed. So do you know the date of that game, or when and where that's happening?
No, not exactly. I know it's at the end of the month. I heard about it last night.
So that can give
we're
you
too focused on the celebrations.
Exactly. So you have to have a little bit of time
to
to dust yourselves off and of course celebrate, because you've had two great achievements to celebrate. So girls, last night, I mean, it was a Tuesday night, not the best night to be having a final and winning a game, but nonetheless I'm sure you celebrated in style. Tell us, what did you get up to last night? Who was the quiet one last night? Somebody's been very good.
Well, we have the barn dance coming up Saturday, so that's another
tell us about
night.
The barn dance. So this is in Laragh, so tell us a little bit about that.
It's the football club and the community centre and the Camogie club all coming together, and it's something like we really do that well in our community. Like we always come together and do events like this, so that should be another
so like
fun
the kind of the footballers support the Camogie players, so it's all which is really nice to have their backing as well. How well has Lara football been doing?
Well,
so I'm sure they're all looking up to you thinking, look at these girls, no stopping them.
To be fair to the minors, they're in a Division 1 final now. They won last night too, so in fairness, good luck to them.
Good. Well, we'll have to wish them luck. The barn dance, so I mean, do you all have to get dressed up, or who's playing? Where is the barn dance taking place?
It's on in Stradone Community Centre, so we'll be taking out the cowboy boots and the hats.
And is other people welcome to come to this, or is it just?
Yeah, there's tickets. I think they're either 10 or 15 euro. I'm not too sure, but 10
euro.
If anyone wants them, Nicola's selling. So.
Yes, it's Nicola here. So €10, and what's the proceeds going towards?
Well, it's been divided up between the community centre, the football club and the Camogie team, and any money like that is great, any help we can get, because it is hard, to kind of keep money going, and even like our lovely t-shirts here, kitted out and all the rest.
Beautiful.
They
They're
don't
really
come free.
Yeah, really, really eye-catching as well.
And our new jerseys as well.
Yes, your sponsors. So there's loads of family connections.
Yeah.
That's what I love about you bunch of girls come in, and you all have a connection between one of you, your dad's a trainer, and whose dad's the sponsor. So you're the Brady's off the cross. Is the sponsor. And they're beautiful, the shirts, and O'Neill's as well as on them, printed on Laragh Camogie Club. Is this your colours?
It's orange and white.
But they're very eye-catching. I think as soon as you walked into the studio tonight, they look very professional. They really, really, really are nice. So Saturday night then, at what time is this barn dance kicking off?
10 o'clock.
Okay.
10 o'clock.
We won't say what time it'll end at, no.
10 o'clock on Sunday morning, just in time for Mass. But you know, you'll all be out celebrating on Saturday night, a chance to really celebrate. So, Nicola, I suppose you were saying you were playing County Camogie. Is that finishing out for the season, or?
Yeah, it is indeed. We got to the All-Ireland semi-final. We played Westmeaden. Unfortunately, it just wasn't our day. But I think this year it was always about, you know, getting as far as we could. You know, it's more about next year, you know, really working hard, and hopefully next year, you never know where it might take us, and see how it goes.
Okay, well, best of luck with that next year. And girls, thank you so much for coming in. Before we go, we're going to have to hold up this cup to the camera, so we'll get a look at that. And a big congratulations to the girls, the Lara Camogie junior champions. Well done, girls, and also league winners as well, 2012. Congratulations, well deserved, and it's lovely having such lovely ladies in the studio. You've been a pleasure, and thanks very much. So here we go, another show comes to an end. That brings to an end All About Sport for this week from the Top of the Town studios in Connolly Street, Cavan. I'll be back again next Wednesday evening at the same time to bring you more sport on CavanTV.com. All About Sport was produced by Brian Daly and Michael Goldrick, and the show was directed by David Van Standen. So, and our control room assistant is Micah. Make sure I get that right. And if you want your sport featured on the programme, just send us an email to drumlinmedia@gmail.com. So stay with Cavan TV, as up next is our weekly music show, The Green Room, with the gorgeous Paul Cox. He's waiting in the wings, ready for action. So until next Wednesday at 7, it's goodbye from me, Louise O'Reilly.
Marty Morrissey, and you're watching Cavan TV.
I'm Willie John McBride, and you're watching Cavan TV.
I'm Martin McHugh, and you're watching Cavan TV.
I'm Tommy Bowe, and you're watching Cavan